few years, you could be eating meat grown in a lab. It's made using animal cells, it looks, smells and tastes like meat. It could be better for the environment, but it may pose a threat to our meat industry.
We can't handle more agriculture, and this growing demand is asking precisely that, and we're going to reach a breaking point.
It has to reproduce the texture and the experience of the conventional meat.
Would you eat human meat?
Would you eat this? It's meat, but I guarantee you it's like no meat you've ever seen before.
People are surprised that a vegan would eat lab-grown meat, or that PETA would support the idea of lab-grown meat.
Hypothetically speaking, if you could eat lab-grown human meat without harming anyone, would you? Sounds crazy, but as human beings, we are always trying to reach a new taboo, and as technology progresses, it allows our imaginations to lead us to some really questionable places. Now, in some parts of the world, it is normal to eat maggot-infested decaying cheese.
What the fuck? Really?
Or in more unsettling cases for Westerners, eating dogs. Dogs are known to us as man's best friend. If we're literally eating our best friend, you can't tell me that you won't try a piece of human flesh. Personally, I'm curious to see how stoic vegans will handle this, as the stigma of the pretentious vegan is there for a reason. That doesn't mean we as omnivores have to be petty like this guy.
I'm having a steak right now.
Sugar tastes good.
Why do you think that eating raw meat cures your disease?
It's the most natural thing for a human to do.
Now, it is predicted lab-grown meat will be eventually eclipsing former methods of farming live animals in the next 10 years.
Tough guy, you kill innocent baby.
This isn't fate or destiny, we decide this for them against their will.
Would you rather that animal get sick and die painfully of some disease, or just a real quick on accident?
Otherwise you'd kill him yourself.
No, I wouldn't kill him myself, I don't even own a gun.
If it doesn't have a face, if it never had a face, would you eat it?
Lab-grown hamburger cost $331,000 to produce in 2013.
The idea of eating something grown in a lab might be off-putting for some, but in my opinion, we are completely disenfranchised with how our meat is presented to us in a neat, cut, and edible fashion. It doesn't show the process of killing this animal.
After roughly 3 to 5 weeks in Gertrude, these small beef pieces will grow into a thin slice of steak, roughly the size of a credit card. Most cattle are slaughtered after 2.5 years.
Well, I mean, why would they taste so good if we weren't supposed to eat them?
And I think that if most of us had to, I doubt we would be willing to kill for our meat, despite the fact that we eat it every day.
Reported detention odor.
For how long?
Oh, about 7 minutes a pound should do it.
So yeah, it's just something to think about, really. The next time you've got a piece of meat on the end of your fork, think about what it took to get there. And maybe even think about what if you were on the end of that fork.
It could fundamentally change our relationship with meat.